Hey guys, happy Friday. Are you ready for our full moon on Sunday evening and my video on the energy? Because here we are just getting my 10 a.m. fizzy lifting drink, which is a vitamin C hot beverage of choice at this time of day. I've already got my coffee out of the way earlier in the morning. And so I'm just walking here into the office. So our full moon is going to be in the sign of Leo. And this is going to be shortly after 5 p.m. Sunday afternoon, 5:09, I believe, to be exact. So as we know, a full moon is when the moon and the sun are opposite each other, and an opposition, in astrology can always cause some challenges. The challenge here being is the action-oriented, passion-driven Leo moon and the more idealistic, in our heads kind of Aquarius sun. But that opposition is not really that much of a challenge because Leo, fire, and Aquarius, air tend to work together more often than we oppose one another, or our energy anyway. But I do want to mention, of course, our body parts associated with the Leo moon that you need to be careful of, take precautions, is your heart, veins, your entire cardiovascular system, blood pressure, anything related to that. So especially in this cold weather, if you're still out digging out from under the snow, which, by the way, this is also known as the snow moon, and we are supposed to be getting more of it this weekend, at least here in southern Delaware. So those things can really, take a toll, take some stress out on your heart and your cardiovascular system. So just be extra careful, extra cautious. If you feel yourself getting dizzy, lightheaded, out of breath, rest, okay? We don't want anybody to end up in the emergency room for any heart-related issues over this full moon. So that being said, I'm going to jump in and try to get through this as quickly as possible. I know for some of you, they tend to run a little bit long, but there's always a lot going on here, right? So our sun is in Aquarius, our moon is in Leo. Mercury, Venus, Mars are all still in Aquarius. Jupiter is still retrograde in Cancer. Saturn is in Pisces. Uranus is still retrograde in Taurus. The biggest change, and really the big highlight of this chart, is Neptune just went into Aries on the 26th. And then Pluto is still in Aquarius. So let's jump right in. So, the sun, again, is conjunct Mercury. So this is going to lead to expressive, witty, and creative energy. So we're going to be very chatty at this time. It is also conjunct Venus. So this, again, lends to that friendly, warm interactions, our focus on art and beauty, creative pursuits at this time. It is conjunct Mars, which lends to courageous and bold action. We do want to watch out for impulsiveness and burnout. It's highly possible at this time. Now, there is, the sun is conjunct with Pluto, which here in the sign of Aquarius. So this is lending to a lot of magnetic personalities, possible issues with authority and father figures, though. Okay, so be on guard for that. And remember, my full moon blend in Leo is called magnetism, right? Because kind of like that polar opposites attract kind of energy. It might kind of feel like that with that magnetism. Our moon in Leo, this energy loves to show off and receive praise and recognition, but yet they're very shy once they are actually in the spotlight. All right. So we might be feeling some of that. Definitely financial and social status gain is possible at this time. Although this energy also lends to a difficulty of accepting feedback, as everything is perceived as criticism, or can be perceived as criticism as this time. So we need to learn to listen and accept that feedback without feeling as though we're being personally attacked, okay? Now, our first minor challenge here is the sun opposite Mercury. The moon opposite Mercury. This could bring challenges with communicating feelings, and feeling misunderstood, or also misunderstanding social cues. And then with that moon opposite Venus, this can lend again to some conflicting heart and mind. Love might feel a little confusing at this time, and it might look unconventional to others, okay? And that's okay. Aquarian energy is all about not following societal norms and conventions. And then with that moon opposite Mars, another minor challenge here. It's a little bit more challenging, actually. This is going to lend to strong will and passion, but that can lead to heated arguments and hurt feelings. Okay. So just remember, when we're getting caught up in our debates and our, conversations, like, try not to overstep that line into personal attacks. And then our next minor challenge here is the moon opposite Pluto. So this can lead to power struggles in relationships. We want to work on releasing patterns that no longer serve our higher purpose under this energy. All right. Now, Mercury is in Aquarius. Mercury loves being in Aquarius, or any air sign for that matter. So this is going to lead to unconventional communication styles. We might be more attracted to progressive movements that help humanity. And we want to, at this time, use our platform to advocate for change, right? Whatever, how big or small your platform is. Luna agrees. She's a little Aquarius too. Her birthday, we celebrate it on my birthday, but she was probably born right on this full moon, or February 1st anyway. So now we have another little minor challenge here with Mercury conjunct Venus. Remember, conjunctions can be good or they can be slightly irritating, and this might be slightly irritating, but please use your manners. Try to stay calm and balanced and somewhat detached in your conversations to remain fair in those heated conversations that may occur, okay? This is probably the biggest challenge in the chart here coming up in this full moon is Mercury is square Uranus and Taurus. So this lends to fast thinking, but that can cause us to move too fast for others to catch up with our train of thought. Abrupt and provocative communication style is highlighted here. Try to learn to temper that style so it feels inviting and not confrontational to others. So if you're trying to get someone over to your side or to understand your way of thinking anyway, try to be more inviting. Try not to be so abrupt and forceful. That is definitely a tendency here, okay? Now Venus is in Aquarius. We've already talked about the aspects to Venus, but Venus in Aquarius again is free-spirited and unconventional love styles. Friendship, mutual respect based relationships are what is really called for, what is really highlighted under this energy. We want partners that share our values and our vision. We need our partners also that respect our individuality and need for freedom while still enjoying and recognizing that, our individuality makes us stronger as a couple, right? So now Mars is also in Aquarius. So this again leads to that innovation, wanting to work and act without the restriction of convention and expectations. This is also going to lend to us getting involved with causes that are going to benefit others at this time. And with Mars conjunct Pluto, we can access strong determination and willpower at this time to accomplish our goals. This energy is intense, it's powerful, but we have an intense, powerful internal strength that is going to help us face our challenges. And there are possible leadership opportunities available to a lot of people under this energy. Now, Jupiter is still retrograde in Cancer. So we want to watch out for people pleasing. Again, stop being overly sensitive. Stop taking everything so personal. Like Jupiter in Cancer really tends to do that sometimes. You're not going to get your needs met by overextending yourself for others at this point. So take care of yourself and don't get so upset when people put your needs last, because you kind of put yourself in that position to do that under this energy. Saturn is in Pisces, okay? So this is one of the major supportive aspects in this full moon. Self-care and nurturing are highlighted before you can take care of others. Again, it kind of, backs up that last aspect. Saturn is sextile Uranus and Taurus, so we are blending traditional and progressive ideals in a mature and grounded way at this time. And then it is also, Saturn is conjunct Neptune and Pisces, and we're going to get to this. This is the exciting stuff. Neptune just went into Aries. This aspect is bringing energy and action to our dreams, imaginative and creative projects. But there's an urgency and an impatience about it at this time. Like, it's time to get it going already. Now, Uranus and Taurus is sextile. Uranus and Taurus is sextile Neptune and Aries. So this is our major good support in this chart. Again, energy and drive are added to creative, spiritual, and projects. Huge transformation is on the horizon, guys. It's something to get excited about, okay? And then it is trine Pluto and Aquarius, also a major good aspect here. This is giving us the courage to challenge norms, work to create a better environment for the collective and our community. But we have a one-track mind toward that purpose and goals. Wisdom will balance and steady the ship here, though. So yes, we're kind of with this energy. We are focused. We are driving toward that goal. Nothing is going to sway us. But just remember, sometimes it's better to go around or over obstacles than through it with that Taurus energy, okay? Now, Neptune and Aries. This is what I'm excited about. It actually entered Aries on the 26th, so a few days ago. Last year we had a little preview of that when it went, it was retrograde, then when it direct. We've talked about those retrogrades and direct motion before. So from the end of March until the end of October, Neptune gave us a little highlight when it popped into Aries. Then it retrograded back into Pisces. But now we are steady for it. And this will be in this, again, it's one of these generational influences for about 14 years. Okay. So this is a once in a lifetime transition. And I know some of you may have been reading about this or looking it up. The last time Neptune was in Aries was, sparked. It was at the beginning of our civil war here in this country. So those of you, most of us have been feeling that energy, that scarily, that possibility again. But it's the possibility of permanent change, positive, progressive change. Certainly after this period, our structures, the things that we have come to know in this country, maybe even globally, are not going to be the same anymore. Okay, I really believe that it is going to be finally for the good, but there's going to be a bit of turmoil to get through before we get there, guys. So hang on. This ain't for the weak. But this is ushering in a new action and courage to visionary, life-altering goals, okay? Our necessary change. Our mission is to change the whole of society, and we have that energy to back us up now on this. Impulsive action, though, can lead to explosive or disastrous results if we are blindly led by either our overzealousness or we're being led into misguided causes. It can be really disastrous, but this energy is a truly warrior spirit type energy. So warrior spirit leaders will emerge at this time. Okay. And probably the best aspect again of this chart is that is sextile with Pluto and Aquarius. So this is lending intensity, passion, and drive to our desire and capacity for change and to heal society. So this energy is powerful. It is thrilling. This aspect is going to keep us on our toes and it's going to keep us moving forward. Okay. So that ultimately can be a very good thing. But again, in order for change, any kind of change to happen, it can get a little shaky for a while. So hang on tight, guys. Enjoy this full moon. Stay warm again. Keep those body parts protected. Definitely use the energy to work towards your goals, to work with your sphere of influence, with your community, with the people that share your vision and goals to actually get some good stuff done. Diffuse my magnetism lead to help you with that creative energy. Until next time, guys, enjoy.